doesn't have flash on the side of the camera that is the mirror thingy, the where I can see myself. And in these strange dialogues that I do in the morning, I like to see myself. It's kind of what I like. I like to comb my beard and try to look presentable. A lost cause, I suppose. I am going to take a dump in a minute, but I wanted to talk more about the dream that I had last night. Robert, hey, Robert. Buenos días desde México hasta España. Saludos. I wanted to talk more about the dream I had last night because it left a very strong impression on me. It was not violent, it was not gory, it was not scary. It was just profoundly disturbing. I mean, I've always had a kind of like preference for the younger flesh than the older flesh, right? Buenas tardes de España hasta México. Buenas tardes. Ah, son las tardes, claro. Tus tardes son mis mañanas. Chistoso. I'm going to go back to English because my train of thought was in English. Um, and you speak English, so I'm not worried about you. So I've always preferred the younger flesh over the older flesh. And when I wrote my book, The Omaha Chronicles, it was kind of like an apology for my perceived heaven. And my perceived heaven was this place where everybody could fornicate with everybody else with um, no taboos, right? So zoophilia, pedophilia, necrophilia, all the philias were allowed in my paradise. And I wrote the book. Not to justify it, but to try to explore. I don't justify shit, I explore it. I have to write a sequel, I suppose. Explore a world with no taboos. Of course, for ordinary humans, that would be hell, right? Even though it was actually heaven. That's my book. But in the dream, I was very aware that I was dreaming. I was very aware that I was in a dream. I was also very aware that I was in the realm of the spirits, of those beings that have no longer a body. You see me with pixels, so I'm sorry. I don't know. Just, computer stuff. And I was with this group of people that were very, like, they were like those happy hippies that you see a lot in Hollywood. Healthy, wealthy. They have, nice homes and cars, and they don't have anything to bitch about or moan. They don't have anybody over them. They're kind of like, I call them happy hippies. Because most of them were hippies in their youth. And then they got some type of really good job with some kick-ass entertainment industry company and sold out, basically. And they live perfect lives. They get into all this spiritual mumbo jumbo from India and from Asia and stuff. Oh, they'll try out shamanism. They'll try out different shamanic practices, ayahuasca, shit like that. But they don't necessarily suffer. They don't. They suffer. We all suffer, right? Even they suffer, but they don't suffer. So I call them happy hippies, and there's a community of people like this, especially in LA. I've met a lot of them that are very happy, that are very well adjusted, that have very clear directives for what's good and evil, and they basically live good lives. Progressives, you know, they support all the right causes, huh? Or have the right type of dogs. Labradors usually. Of course, they all smoke pot. They were this group of happy hippies, and they were going to see this great master, this amazing guru. I think Timmy Ordonez was amongst them. I think that's who got me into there for some reason, because I had the feeling that they were toad smokers too. So the master comes in, and he reminds me of this the guy that channels Ashtar Command. It's, bald, very, very. Everybody dressed in white. The type. But I'm getting this vibe of real wisdom that these people actually know they're all dead already, and they're kind of in a heavenly situation because they're with their master. And the master is very aware. So I'm listening, and I'm getting kind of a good vibe out of this. And then the master shows me a tree, and the tree was. I don't know if I have a picture of it somewhere. Probably do. Well, it doesn't matter. The tree was very much like the trees you see in the Sims game. That is very tiny little tree. It's like maybe twice the size of a human being, and it's white. It's a white tree. No leaves, just lights. It's a Christmas tree they use, but it's not really a Christmas tree. It's like an outside Christmas tree they use in The Sims. White outside Christmas tree. And as soon as I was under the tree, I was in the Sapo territory. I was like in this kind of space where you know everything. Everything is known. There's no secrets. Everything is. The truth comes out. The profound truth of the universe is there. And Berta, my Aunt Berta, wonderful lady there holding the dog. Beauty queen, picture beauty queen, my Aunt Berta. Beautiful lady. Generous, marvelous, great love of mine. Comes in, and she says hi to me, and I say hi to her, and we both know that she's dead. I mean, I know that she's a spirit that's come to visit me. And true love, yeah, exactly. And we kiss. And we kiss a couple more times. And things start to get, a little check. And there's two guys that come out, or they're with her all the time, I think. And they're like guardians, they're keeping her back somehow, or holding her back, or I don't know. They're like guardians, they're there to guard her in the afterlife. Dreams. And she's a little bit. She's not so much scared as just happy to see me, because I can tell that she's been through hell. I can tell that she's been through a lot of shit for some reason. And there's just these two. I guess they're hellish guardians, I want to say. They're with her, and I'm under this tree, and and this tree is showing me the reality of the universe beyond life and death. And I'm going like, okay, well, it's cool. You're okay. It's fine. You know, gotta go back to her. I gotta go. And she actually stays there. She doesn't go anywhere. She stays there. And then um, a series of actors uh, come in. I'm talking about 80s actors that I admired a lot. They all have the same, like one of them was, I mean, the one that I remember the most, what's his freaking name? It's called Death Race, like Death Race or Death, yeah. It's Death Race 2000, yeah. 1975 film. Um, and the guy's name is Roger Corman. Yeah, this is definitely the picture, so I'm going to tell you the name of the actor in a second. Roger Corman and Matilda, Machine Gun Joe, Frankenstein. Sylvester Stallone. Yeah, that's not an interesting one. He's not in he's like a B tier actor, but he's very beautiful. It can't be that he's not in here. That is Roger Leslie. No, he's not in here. No, can't be. Directed by Pedro Bratel. David Lynch. David Lynch. Lynch is his name. Or Robert Lynch? Robert Lynch. David Lynch. He's not in here for some reason. He should be in here. Last name is Lynch. So, anyways, he's this very handsome blonde actor that I really had a I don't know say I had a crush on because it was not a crush on. I don't know. Maybe it was. I don't know. David Lynch. Richard Lynch. Richard Lynch. Lynch. Anyways, this actor is there, and it's him and about three others that I don't remember so well, but I remember him distinctly because I always liked his movies and I always liked him. And I kiss him on the cheek, and it's a very intense kiss, and he's really happy that I kissed him on the cheek. He's like, really getting it on. And he's much older than I am. I'm actually in the dream. I'm actually young. I'm maybe in my 20s, and he's like in his 50s. So is my aunt. Same thing. And there's this vibe of, love. There's this love vibe that I really love these people, and these people love me, and they're very happy to be with me because I'm young and beautiful, which is an interesting feeling of being desired for your youth and your beauty. It's a very interesting feeling. And they go. That's that. They're under the tree. They go. And then I walk into this kind of suburban house, and I'm not sure if it's a pickup truck or a trash can, but it's parked in the back of a picket fence, of a large wooden picket fence. Not a picket fence, a full size fence. And I go in there, and inside the either back of a pickup truck or big metal trash can, very clean metal trash can, or back of a pickup truck, there's all these kids, these beautiful, absolutely gorgeous blonde kids, and I can't tell if they're naked or not, but I see their legs mostly and their arms, which is what sticks out of the pickup truck. There's a few of them, you know, and they look discarded. They look like somebody just threw them in there. They're alive, but they're in the realm of the living dead. So there's that bizarre dream. We're in the realm of the spirits, so they're spirit kids, but they're in this pickup truck. They're kind of discarded, and I have a feeling from them that they really wanted to be with me. They really wanted to be in me, with me, part of me, but they couldn't. And there's a great tragedy in that. This enormous, gigantic tragedy. Like maybe kids that I never had, maybe children that I should have had and I didn't. One of the returning themes in my life is that, you know, I wanted to have my own kids, and I ended up with my sister's kids, which is fine. I love my sister's kids, but they're not my flesh and blood. Because I have cerebral palsy, I've always had a little bit of trepidation about having kids too. It's a half in, half out type of desire, like most desires anymore in my life. But somehow this idea that these kids were discarded was really rubbing me the wrong way. And that in the fact that those kids were discarded and that we were all dead, we were all actually in the realm of the dead, the realm of the spirits. So there was no going back. There was no changing it. It was just what was. It was the reality that was. A great opportunity had been lost. This enormous chance for a better civilization, a better human race, a better world had been lost. So I was in hell. There was no devils. There was no, pitchforks or fire and brimstone. There was just this discarded kids. These beautiful blonde kids thrown into a garbage can, basically. They're not dead. They were just not of any use to anybody or to themselves. So it woke me up. It woke me up in a very intense way. And I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to figure out what it means. I'm still trying to go deeper into the dream interpretation is one of the things that I like to do for other people, and I've been asked to do it many times. If you want me to interpret your dreams, make sure to put them in this video or send them to me in my email or something. But I'm still trying to figure this one out because it's a very complex dream. It's not an easy dream to interpret. It's deeper than Richard Lynch. So you put Richard Lynch and see if it shows up. Richard Lynch. See if it's him. Yeah, that's the guy. That's Richard Lynch. That's the guy that I was in my dream. I actually met him, and I met him at the American Film Market once. We said hello. We said something. I said, hello, hi, I'm Richard Lynch. Robin Margie, nice to meet you. Long to go. Oh, he died in 2012. So he is a spirit. He is dead. He is. Yeah, that was him though. In my dream. With Aunt Berta and some other B actor. I mean, I don't think he was a B actor. I mean, he must have been an A actor. He made a lot of villains. Sword and Sorcerer, Invasion USA, 7-Ups. Weird dream. So, if you have any ideas of what the dream meant, give me a call. Now, let's go take a dump, and I will do. Let's go take a dump. I finish my coffee. What do you know about dream interpretations? What dreams come? What dreams may come? These are my projects right now. What I'm working on for Upwork. My ghost written stories. Put my dad's face in there because he looked very ghostly. We're supposed to talk today about our projects. And yeah. Well, thank you, Robert. I appreciate it. I don't know what I'm so awesome about. I don't know what makes me so great, but I appreciate you saying that. That's very kind of you. That's my dad, by the way. It's Omar, the great Omar Sheikh. Omar, he's a sheikh. Odd enough, he is a sheikh in the Sufi order. Sheikh Omar. And that's my dad. And he's a film producer. And he makes movies. And I've been thinking about him a lot lately. I try to, it's really funny. It's really funny. I was about to call him yesterday. I was about to call him, and he called me before. Right before I was going to have to call him, he called me. Bizarre. And I hadn't called him in a couple of days. I hadn't called him like 3-4 days. Because I had been with my friends and playing Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. And working. Trying to meet deadlines. So today we're supposed to call it 1 o'clock his time, which is, I believe, 3 o'clock my time. And we'll Zoom or Skype or something. Zoom, I guess we'll Zoom together so we can talk business, because Dad is always about talking business. I want to include him in one of my new projects with this kid from Australia that's a producer. He has a variety of films under his belt that he's trying to bring together. And he's actually brought some other stuff together, so he's actually a real producer. And I want to put him in together with my dad to see if they can connect on the blockchain thing my dad's trying to accomplish, which I think could actually work. But a lot of the anxiety about money that I have in my life comes from this man, because he was always, working all the time, working like a little bee, a little busy bee, trying to make money. And he lost a lot of money doing that. It's a curious thing. Projects. You make projects and you lose on them, He had this film company called Republic Pictures, which he bought the name of Republic Pictures. He bought it. He actually tried to buy it. And then they just took it away from him. Spent a small fortune on buying a film company, named the film company, and it was just taken away from them because they had more money for their lawyers, so they could make a better argument. And over the, I guess, 40 years he's been in Hollywood, doing the Hollywood thing, well, probably more, probably like 60 years. I don't know how old he was when he started. He's probably in his 20s, so he's 70. Yeah, about 20 and 70, 20, 70, 50 years. About 50 years in Hollywood, doing Hollywood stuff. He's always done the same thing. He gets some really interesting projects going on together. He gets a lot of interesting movement. And then he's supposed to get a big paycheck at the end of the job. And whoever financed the project or whoever was the financier or whatever just fucks him. He's gotten fucked so many times, poor guy. But he's 74 and he's out there still trying to make it. And he's actually made a lot of stuff. He's actually made quite a few films over his 50 years in Hollywood. He's made enough films to be a real producer in IMDb. I have one producer credit at the IMDb. I actually have two. I have one under a different name. So I have two producer credits at IMDb. But he's got about, I don't know, more than that. Quite a few more than that. And he's my dad, and I love his ass. He's a grouchy old man that doesn't like to talk about all that fuzzy-wuzzy, lovey-dovey shit. Full of anger. Lots of anger in his heart. But then he came from an angry race. You know, Grandma's race was supposedly they came all the way from the Mayflower. He's 98% British, English, Scottish, Irish. 98% Brit. He's got a Polish last name. Figure that one out. Polish last name, almost all of them Brit. And you know the Brits are very stiff upper lipped, angry people. That's him. But under all that anger, under all that rage, there's a piece of love trying to get out. There's a deep desire to love people that he tries trying to get out. And that's what I admire about him is that, you know, I mean, he's saved my ass in more, you know, more than I can say. He's also put me, you know, down a few times. But always in the effort of trying to teach me or show me or do the right thing. And, you know, first I resented him a lot because I thought, nah, this guy's just, you know, all into himself and making money and shit and doesn't care about me. And that's not true. He always cared about me. I'm probably the person in his life that he most cares about. You know, I don't know. He's a weird guy. I share a lot of his traits. You know, he was always looking for a home. He was always looking for like a home, family. But he's not a family type of guy. He gets too crazed, too angry with his loved ones. You know, so he likes to be alone. I respect that. He likes to be out there, but I wanted to have him closer around now that he's older and dying of old age. I wanted to have him closer, but he doesn't. He likes his space, and I respect that. Anyways, I'm getting all mushy. I was gonna go take a poo. Let's go take a shit, shall we? Let's go take a nice dump for all those people that love to watch me shit. You perverts. Give people what they want. I have to go buy some food for the cat. Once again, we have no food for the cat. 50 pesos in my bank. I'm gonna use them for cat food. My money didn't arrive. The fucking money didn't arrive. I'm waiting for a few dollars to arrive from a job that I did, and they're being held by the bank a couple of days more. I suppose, I don't know. Maybe they'll arrive tomorrow. You love to watch me do it, huh? Pervert. I don't care. People shit. Oh. Oh, shitting and eating is kind of the same thing. Comes in, goes out. Nothing special about it. Nice fart. Thank you. Thank you. Did you watch that movie, Robert? Not like when you're talking about shit. Did you watch that movie? I think it's called Satyricon of Fellini, where people eat in private but shit in public. It's a very curious movie. Very, very telling of how. You haven't watched it? I think it's called Satyricon. I'm not sure if it's called Satyricon or it's another one of Fellini's movies, but I remember the scene. I remember the name of the title of the movie. My mind is too addled. But there's a scene where all this nice company of people come over. It's like a futuristic dystopia, and like Metropolis, but it's a nice house, and these group of people come in to spend time together, and they get their plates. They go and eat in a cloistered room, sequestered from everybody. And then they go out into the dining room, and the dining room is this rows of toilets, facing this big table, and they're sitting in front of each other in these rows of toilets, and they start to take shits. They start to shit, and they're talking as they're shitting and shit. So. She loves to be with me when I shit. Not sure why though. You're a crazy cat, you know that. But she loves being here when I take shit. She literally is. Hi, cat. Lucifer. That's Lucy. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Say hi, Lucy. Say hi to Robert. Mira aquí arriba. Que mires. Yeah. Beautiful, yeah. Yeah, she is. She's what you call she's what you call a mosaic cat. Gato mosaico in Spanish. I don't know. It's the same thing in English. But when a cat has 3 colors or more, it's almost guaranteed to be a female cat. And Lucy is definitely a female cat. She has some type of hormonal disorder. She had babies 3 times. We wanted to breed her, but she had babies 3 times, and 3 times they died. And the reason is, and we found out in the 3rd time, third's the winner. We took the babies to the vet and everything, and we wanted to save them, but we couldn't. The reason the babies died is because she has a hormonal disorder that doesn't allow her to feed them. So she rejects them. When they get a certain size and they're, sucking on her titties don't produce milk. Or they produce milk, but it hurts her. It hurts her to do it. So she rejects them and they die. And it happened already 3 times. This week, I think we're going to take her to have her spayed, because it's very tragic that you have babies and they die. It's not a pleasant thing at all. But it's not her fault. I mean, she's got this just genetic disorder. She's she's very tiny. She's a very tiny cat. So, and she was always frail. She was always like a frail cat and a scaredy cat. She doesn't like people. She doesn't like any. She just spends more time just in the bed, chilling out. Uh, when I had my other cat, Elizabeth, the one that ran away, she ran away from me. Oh. When I had Elizabeth, she Elizabeth used to beat the shit out of this one. She used to bully her horribly. And I had to get myself involved and kick Elizabeth's ass. So she's a frail cat. She's a tiny frail cat, and we wanted to breed her because she's very pretty, but she's not built for that. She's more like a nun. Her She's married to the spirits and not to have a family in this world. Yeah. When you're taking a shit, it's weird how you have to wait for the shit to come down. It's like it's there. You kind of want to hurry it along, but it takes the time it takes. Usually, just that's why you take a newspaper or something to read because you're going to spend some time trying to wait for the shit to go down your intestine. It's already in there. I mean, there's like usually two or even three little chunks that have to come down, and they don't come down at the same time. They come down when they want to. Sometimes I get bored though. I've dealt with constipation now for a while, so sometimes I get bored and I just fuck it. Then that's why I take two shits in the morning usually. Take one, then take a cup of coffee, then take the second one, and the second one's the good one. Right now, when I go down the stairs to the store, there's two flights of stairs and I have to go to the second floor, so I have to go two flights of stairs down, two flights of stairs up when I come back. And the store is about 2 blocks away. It's 1 block away from here. So I'll go get the food and that'll move my bowel along, and then I can take my second shit after my second cup of coffee. So yeah. You know what I do? I try to do an enema at least once a week. I try to do an enema once a week. I like to really flush myself well. I learned about enemas when I was late in life. I wish I would have done it earlier in life. I learned it late. I was already in my 30s when I began to understand that sticking a tube up your ass and flushing it with water is one of the better things you can do for your body and your mind and your soul. That I came across late. I came across it late in life. So, and these stupid kids, I mean, I tell them about enemas, but they're not into it. They're like, don't put a tube in my ass. I forget that. That's fact out. But I tell them, it's really good for you, and you're gonna feel good. And you can take a horse to water. Don't mean he's thirsty. You can show people the good shit. And don't mean that they like it or they care for it. I like this morning. I'm just gonna do morning blues. The coffee and blues thing. But it's more like a special occasion type of thing because you don't always want to sing the blues. Sometimes you just want to have silence. You know. I need to practice. I know that. I need to get my fingers on the key on the fretboard and just play guitar more often, more than anything for the physical aspect of it, because your fingers, they have muscles that they have to exercise when you play the guitar. Then if you don't exercise the muscles, you're not going to be playing guitar too long. You get tired, like any other muscle. So for the sake of exercise, I should play it every day. When I was studying music, when I was into really getting to music studies, I used to play 8 hours a day, literally. I would not, I would get up in the morning, start playing, go to bed at night, I was still playing. When I was going to school, I was going to be a rock star. That was my objective in life. Right now, I got other things to do. And yes, I like my fingers to be nimble and be able to play all the difficult riffs and all the difficult chords and everything, and hold. What's really hard is when you're holding a rhythm with a guitar, and you have to hold your fingers in a certain position for a long time. That's when they start to hurt. That's when you get the cramps. I was playing with my dad the other day, back in San Pedro in California, in LA, and we were really getting into it. We've been playing a long time, and suddenly I got this horrible cramp in my fingers. I was just like, "Argh." It felt like they were pulling my fingers off, And what it was, your muscles atrophy if you don't use them all the time. The muscles on the fingers as well. So we must practice at least a little bit of guitar every day. And I don't. I don't. I should do exercise and I should do guitar every day. And I don't do either one of those. Usually I go straight for the computer and writing. There we go. It's who said it? Somebody important said it. I think the Dalai Lama said it, or somebody like that. They said, life is built on good or bad habits. You have good habits, you build on them, and that's a good life. You have bad habits because it's the eightfold path, the eightfold path of the Buddha. Right thoughts, right mind. No, let's see, right, right thoughts, right actions, right profession, right. I remember three of them. Wait, right meditation. That was important. Right. Uh, right. Eightfold path. The Buddhists. They have 8 good habits that you have to have: meditation, thoughts, profession. Uh, that's the ones that I remember. The ones that I apply is the ones. It's funny. The ones that I work with all day long is the ones that I remember. Like for me, this conversation, oddly enough, is a meditation because I'm externalizing my mental processes. I don't attach to them. I don't attach to what I'm saying. I'm just speaking it out. And it doesn't have great importance either. It's just thoughts. And it's a stream of thoughts that comes endlessly into my mind. But the idea of meditation is that you recognize that it's a stream of thoughts. So you don't attach to any one of them because they don't really have importance. You're just thinking. And I'm thinking out loud right now. That's what I'm doing in these blogs. My dump meditation. When I was in the monastery, Crestone Zen Center in Colorado, the Roshi there, Richard Baker, said, when you go to take a dump, take a dump, take a shit. If you're gonna go shit, shit. If you're gonna go wash the dishes, wash the dishes. If you're gonna go, shovel snow, shovel snow. Don't think about it. Don't think other things while you're doing it. Just focus on the task at hand. That's the job. That's the premise of meditation. Meditation is doing one thing and doing it right. And if you think about it, athletes, musicians focus on what they're doing fully. They engage their entire mind, their entire consciousness on what they're doing. Right now, for instance, I'm splitting my consciousness between speaking with you and shitting. If I don't have the camera, I would just be focused on the shitting part. And that's the essence of meditation. That's what Zen meditation is. That's what the Zen teachers told me. Like, for instance, right now, I'm looking at the camera and I'm looking at this little pimple that I want to take out. Well, that had nothing to do with taking a shit. So it's diverting my energy from shitting, which is what I have to do, to the pimple. Still, it's a horrible pimple. I have to pick it out. I have to get it out of there. I need a steam bath. Urgent steam bath. Right now, they cut our water. They're rationing our water because we have a leak on the water system, and we're drinking water. When the earthquake came, we lost all our water. And there's a leak in the system somewhere. And until they find the leak, what they're doing is that they're limiting the amount of water we can use, which is fucked. It's really fucked. See that? No, there's a problem. Let me check here. No. Yeah, of course. So there was not enough water on the toilet to bring the shit down. So the shit didn't go down. So now I have to do what I hate most of all, which is to clean myself with paper. And then, of course, I'm going to have to take a shower because I never feel clean if I do that. Usually the way I clean my ass is that I flush the toilet, get a little soap in my hand, clean my ass with my fingers, wash my hands, and I'm done with the toilet water. But right now, the toilet is full of shit. So I'm going to have to figure out, first of all, fortunately, I have some clothing in a bucket there. And that bucket is full of water, and that's dirty water with chlorine. It's I was putting it for the white clothing to whiten my clothing. So I'm going to use that water to flush down the shit on the toilet, but I'm going to have to clean my ass with toilet paper, which I absolutely detest. This is the worst, most destructive invention ever made by mankind. Exclusively used by Western people. It's worse than that. It's principally used by Americans. Hindus use water to clean their ass. Europeans have bidets. Americans have toilet paper. It's a huge industry. It makes a lot of money. It's the most wasteful industry in the world. You literally make paper to clean your ass with. Kids love it. They buy this really soft toilet paper. I absolutely detest it because it is hurtful for the environment. It doesn't clean your ass properly. Your ass will not be cleaned with toilet paper ever. This will take the surface shit out of your ass and then kind of spread the shit into your cheeks and into your ass and into your asshole. The paper doesn't, the micro particles of shit do not come out with paper. They only come out with water. So I'm going to clean my ass. But it's not going to be cleaned. And I know it's not because I won't clean it well or I won't use enough paper. I will. But because I know in my heart, in my mind, in my soul, that cleaning my ass with paper will never clean it. Right now we're being rationed water, so I can't bathe here. So what I may actually do, it was really good, 10-10, thank you. So what I may actually do is that I may go down to I have no money, can't go down to the swimming pool. So what I may actually do is I'm going to try to siphon some water into a bucket and do a bucket, bathing with a bucket bath. Man, the austerities of today. Fucking earthquake. Fucking earthquake did all this. Yeah. Yeah. See, to really use paper, you have to use about 3 times. You have to clean your out 3 times your ass with paper. That's a lot of wasted paper for nothing. Because you know that it's not going to be fully clean. So. And then to top it off, I don't have any water to bathe right now. Fuck. Desperate times call for desperate situations. When I'm in the woods and I take a dump, I usually use if there's sand, I use sand. It's grating on your ass, but shut up. I'm talking about important things here. She knows that we're going out, so she wants her food. I didn't get her fucking little food third time. Sand cleans your ass reasonably well. It's like sandpaper on your ass, but it gets most of the microparticles, especially when you have a hairy ass like mine. The hairy ass part of it tends to get the shit in your hair, in your ass hairs. So it's really disgusting if you don't have water to clean your ass. It's absolutely gross, and I'm going to feel gross all day now because I don't think I have water to bathe. So, a little fart. And then I think I have to take another poo too because, God, today's one of those days. Life, guys, life. All right, so let's think now about flushing this toilet. Yeah, I didn't go down. Of course it didn't go down. Yeah. The good thing about this water is it's for chlorine, so it will definitely clean the bowl. And it all went down. All's well that ends well, guys. All's well that ends well. Except, of course, I didn't have a chance to clean my ass. But that's life. Well, thank you for taking this dump with me today. Robert, it was fun. 10-10, like you say. See you in the next shit.